Hi guys, it's Sunny. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I am a professional ballroom dancer, which means I've competed and performed at the newcomer, amateur, all the way through the championship professional divisions in the United States and around the world. I used to own the largest ballroom dance studio in the United States, did that for 15 years. So very experienced teacher. I'm here today and a follow-up kind of mini series I'm doing to the pros and cons of franchise dance studios versus independent dance studios. So this is an extremely hotly debated topic with people who are very opinionated towards one side or the other. And I have my own opinions too. And for the record, I have never worked for a franchise studio. I've never owned a franchise studio, though I have attended a couple of franchise studio dance parties and showcases. However, I have friends who currently take lessons and teach at own franchise dance studios. And more importantly, I have friends who have owned both franchise and independent studios at separate times in their lives, and students who currently or used to take in both types of studios, as well as teachers. I've hired many teachers who've come out of franchise dance studios. So it's these people's opinions I'm going to share with you today. And just to widen the net of people whose feedback I'm getting, I also posted this question in a private ballroom dance teachers group I am in to get their opinions, because I really wanted to see from not just one perspective, but both perspectives, what the pros and cons of both of these are, okay? So this is a number 5 point, following up on the other points I have shared with you in the previous videos. The franchise studios are often better at providing ample social opportunities within their own single studio. So independent studios sometimes have no social dances at all, no parties, even sometimes no showcases, often no competitions of their own. They, compared to the independent studios, can keep their students fully active in ballroom dance and have them never be exposed to another dance studio, to another teacher, even to other students who take from other studio teachers, independent teachers. So creates a wonderful kind of opportunity for the students to socially network and become dependent friends on each other, but it's also creates the opportunity for that franchise studio to hide the quality and benefits that the students would see if they were exposed to the independent studios. Now, I am painting with a broad brush here, but I am speaking in kind of overall big picture. This is usually what happens, okay? And as a matter of fact, to encourage their students just to take in that studio and have no exposure anywhere else and to maximize their friendships inside that studio, often the franchises include those weekly dance parties and the package price that their students are buying into. So of course the students are going to go there. They want their money's worth. I would too. Okay. And I feel this is the area, one of many areas where the franchise studios completely dominate the independent studios, okay? Meaning, similar to belonging to like an Elks Club or an Eagles Club, they prioritize providing a comfortable, positive, complete social network, okay? Not just come in for a dance lesson, be the best dancer you can be. And in my opinion, many of these dancers don't know you could be a better dancer, and even if they do, they don't care. They really enjoy that friendship network that they cultivate there. And that's normal. And that's wonderful. They're cultivating friendships there. And just the reality is most dancers don't want to become a champion. they just want to become a decent dancer. For those that do want to become a professional or elite level dancer, then those people generally are heat-seeking missiles, and they will seek out those independent dance studios, okay? As always, again, I'm speaking in generalities. Certainly any studio is going to be able to create, most likely, a competent social dancer or wedding couple. And many independent studios do eke out a living as a result of charging so much less for the lessons to their students, or they don't charge their leasers very much to lease floor space there. So they do not have the financial luxury to include free or extremely cheap regular dance socials to their clients. So I'm not saying that any of these things are based in greed. It's just a kind of a very different dance culture that you can learn in, okay? Another area that, from what I hear, the franchise studios shine in compared to the independent, which is why the students are willing to pay more for the lower quality dance instruction at the franchise studio, is they tend to create a much more positive experience, a lesson experience, in that there is very little backbiting between the teachers. Not that this doesn't happen in franchise studios, it absolutely can. However, more often in a independent studio, you will find teachers that will talk smack about the other studio teachers in that studio or outside of that studio. Honestly, that's made up trash talk anyway, but I have seen it myself even in my own studio, and I talked to those teachers about it. But from my perspective, honestly, this is generally rooted in greed, jealousy, fear that they're going to lose those students to those other teachers. Whereas, again, that's absolutely can happen, does happen in franchise studios, but from what I've heard from people coming from backgrounds in both these studio types, it is statistically more likely in the independent studio. Likewise, I've heard from the teachers that are in the franchise studios and working in the independent studios both, that they felt there was more of a family positive environment in the franchise studio, meaning that they were truly friends with their coworkers and not just an exercise of mutual toleration and sharing floor space in their dance lessons and concern about, oh, is this teacher saying something bad about me when I'm not here? Are they talking to the studio owner about how they don't like how loud I play my music? Yada, yada. Whereas, again, many privately owned independent studios, that the instructors all have a very positive relationship with each other. And in my experience, most of them do. However, again, I'm going from what I've heard from people who I trust who've come from a background fully immersed in both of these studio types. They have found the franchise studios to be offering more positive relationships within the staff, which then bleeds into the student's experience. I go to a dance lesson, I want to have a positive experience. Don't waste my dance lesson time talking about how you hate this teacher or they're a bad teacher. That's not what I'm paying for. I'm paying for a positive experience. I'm paying for high quality information on how to make myself an excellent dancer. So that's my 2 cents on that, or actually what everyone else's 2 cents is on that. And again, everyone comes to that dance lesson wanting that full positive experience. So I am reaching that 10-minute mark, and I do have many more important points that these teachers, students, owners have all brought up in terms of the benefits or detriments to studio versus franchise experience. So I will share another video tomorrow showing more of these points, because I found it to be utterly fascinating when I went into this with this question, having really singularly come from that independent studio experience. I heard only bad things about franchise studios. But the reality is the people that have only been in that franchise studio setting have only heard bad things about the independent studio. So there's definitely pros and cons to both. So I would love to hear about your experience in your franchise studio, in your independent studio, what your favorite things are, what your least favorite things are. I know our other ballroom dance enthusiasts on this channel would love to read that too. So if you like the video, please press that thumbs up button. I'm not monetized. I just do it because I enjoy providing information that you might find to be interesting or helpful. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.